The universe is vast, indifferent, and dangerous. But for some, danger is irresistibly magnetic. I first saw her on the observation deck of the Orion's Reach, a freighter-turned-exploration vessel that had been our home for the past 6 months. She stood alone, staring into the void where nebulae bled violet and green across the endless black. I didn't notice her at first, lost in my own thoughts about our latest mission. But then, as she turned, her eyes met mine, and I understood immediately that she wasn't human. Her skin shimmered like liquid silver under the dim lighting, reflecting every color in the room. Her hair floated as if it had a life of its own, a cascade of bioluminescent strands that reacted to her emotions. But it was her lips, full, delicate, and colored in a hue that no human pigment could replicate, that caught me off guard. "I don't suppose you understand what I am," she said softly, her voice a melody that seemed to echo in the chamber, even though it wasn't amplified. I tilted my head, curiosity piqued. "I understand you're not human. Beyond that, you'll have to enlighten me." A small smile tugged at her lips. "I should warn you, my species has a peculiar gift, one that makes intimacy a dangerous thing for your kind." I raised an eyebrow. Dangerous how? Her eyes flickered with something unreadable, something predatory yet cautious. "One kiss from me can be lethal to humans. Your species is far too fragile for our biology." The observation deck was suddenly very quiet. My colleagues, crew members all, had long since learned not to interfere with alien encounters until briefings allowed. But here, alone with her, the words felt like a challenge. "A dare." I smiled. Not a foolish smile, I told myself. A measured one. And yet here you are, talking to me. She tilted her head, curious. "Do you not fear death?" "I've faced it enough in the void to know it's inevitable," I said. "Might as well flirt with it." Her laugh was like wind over crystalline towers, soft, dangerous, and impossible to ignore. Few humans are so reckless. That was how it began. Chapter 1, Arrival. Her name, I learned, was Salira. She was from a species called the Lyri, known across sectors for their lethal pheromones and unmatched beauty. It was said that the mere touch of a Lyri could send a human into convulsions. The kiss, however, was their signature, a genetic cocktail designed to incapacitate and, if prolonged, kill. Yet Salira had been sent to our sector under the pretense of a diplomatic mission. Her people wished to observe human colonies, learn about our technology, and, perhaps, recruit allies for something larger brewing beyond our quadrant. I was assigned as her liaison. The job was simple on paper: protect her, guide her, and ensure she didn't accidentally annihilate any of my crew. In practice, it was complicated. The first day, we toured the ship together. I tried to gauge her habits, her comfort levels. Salira moved with an elegance I could barely comprehend, every motion fluid, deliberate. She studied humans with a detached curiosity, yet every now and then, her gaze lingered on me longer than strictly necessary. "Do you fear me yet?" she asked at one point, her voice teasing, almost childlike. I shook my head. "You've only warned me. Words aren't lethal." She regarded me for a long moment, then, without warning, leaned closer. Her breath brushed against my ear. "Humans are fragile, yes, but some are recklessly stupid." Her lips hovered near mine for a heartbeat, a whisper away. My heart beat faster. Not from fear, but from something older, something primordial that had nothing to do with logic. And then she pulled back, a smile teasing her lips. "You'll regret saying that one day," she whispered. Chapter 2. The Danger of Proximity. Days passed. I found myself seeking her out, needing her presence even while fully aware that it could end in my death. She had a way of moving through the corridors that drew attention, yet seemed completely untouchable. During our second week aboard, the first incident occurred. I had been walking back from the engine room when I heard a commotion near the cargo bay. One of the crewmen had cornered Salira, attempting to make conversation. I froze. Humans were fragile, unpredictable. I knew what could happen if they got too close. Salira's eyes narrowed. She didn't attack. Her species had instincts, yes, but restraint was not natural to them when provoked. Yet somehow, she managed to defuse the situation without so much as a touch, her presence alone radiating a lethal warning. Later, she confessed to me, control is not easy. The scent of fear, the pulse of adrenaline, it intoxicates some of us. I smiled wryly. Then I suppose I should be afraid. She stepped closer, her face inches from mine. Do you fear me? Not yet, I said. Her laugh echoed again, low and dangerous. You will. Chapter 3. The Kiss. It wasn't planned. Nothing between us had been intentional, just proximity, conversation, shared glances across crowded rooms. But the night of the supernova simulation changed everything. The Orion's reach had entered a sector near a dying star. We needed to study the energy emissions, chart gravitational anomalies, and collect samples. The simulation room was packed with holographic projections of the supernova, brilliant waves of light and energy that danced across the walls. Salira and I had been alone, running the calculations for the anomalies. The light played across her skin, making her seem otherworldly. She turned to me suddenly, eyes searching mine. Do you know what this would feel like? I shook my head. What? This star, when it dies, it will release energy so powerful it could destroy planets. But standing near it, we'd feel alive. I leaned back, trying to catch her meaning. But before I could respond, she closed the distance between us. Her lips pressed to mine. I froze, for just a moment, calculating. The air shifted. My body tensed. I expected pain, paralysis, maybe death. Nothing happened. She pulled back, eyes wide. You survived? I smirked, heart racing. I told you, I flirt with death. For the first time, she laughed without restraint, a sound that shook the very holograms around us. You are insane, she said. And yet, I said, brushing a hand against hers, here I am. Chapter 4. Revelations. Salira explained that what made humans more resilient to her kind's lethal touch was not luck, but adaptation. She had observed something in me, perhaps genetics, perhaps something more subtle, allowing me to tolerate her. The kiss, which could fell other humans instantly, left me alive, even craving more. Days turned into weeks. The boundaries between us blurred. I knew the danger, yet I could not resist her. And Salira, in turn, seemed to delight in the paradox of it all, a human willing to face death for the thrill of being near her. We studied the dying star together, calculated the energy outputs, and observed alien worlds teeming with life. But always, there was an undercurrent, a tension that neither of us could deny. She confided in me one evening, her voice trembling ever so slightly. I am not supposed to feel attachment. We are not meant to bond like this. I took her hand. Attachment is optional. Thrill, danger, curiosity, they're all optional. But here, now it feels real. Salira's lips brushed against mine again, soft this time, teasing, testing. You would die for this? I smiled, tilting my head. I might. Or I might just survive to annoy you for the rest of my life. Chapter 5. The threat beyond our growing closeness did not go unnoticed. Other Lyri, more traditional and ruthless, arrived in the sector to retrieve Salira. They had been watching, judging her deviation from protocol. One night, our ship was surrounded. Vessels, sleek and predatory, blocked our path. Their leader's message was clear: surrender Salira or die. I didn't hesitate. We're not giving her up, I said to the crew, though my voice trembled slightly with the weight of what we faced. Salira's eyes glowed, a warning and a plea at once. Do you understand what this could mean? I understand that you're worth it, I said simply. The Leary fleet attacked, energy beams slicing through space. The Orion's Reach fought back, desperate maneuvers through asteroid fields and gravitational anomalies. Salira revealed her true strength, not just lethal, but strategic, guiding the crew, disabling enemy vessels without killing unnecessarily. After hours of combat, we emerged victorious. Only then did she allow herself to breathe, to relax against me. You are the only human I know who could survive my kiss, she whispered. And yet, I said, brushing a hand through her floating hair, I still want more. Her laugh, full and dangerous, filled the cabin. Then you are truly insane, she said. Chapter 6. The choice. The aftermath of the battle left us alone on the observation deck again. Stars shimmered in ways that felt almost sentient. I looked at her, and she looked back. You know, she said, voice soft, almost intimate. This could end badly. One slip, one moment of carelessness. I know, I interrupted. But some things are worth the risk. Some people are worth the risk. She hesitated, then leaned in. Our lips met, and for a long moment, the universe seemed to pause. This time, I felt nothing but warmth, connection, and the dangerous thrill of survival against impossible odds. I never thought I'd find a human who could do this, she murmured. Neither did I said. But here we are. Epilogue. Months passed. Salira remained on the ship, officially as a diplomatic observer, unofficially as something much closer. We navigated new sectors, discovered alien life forms, and avoided cosmic catastrophes. And through it all, we had each other, an improbable pair, human and Leary, bound by choice, thrill, and a kiss that could have ended it all. She often teased me about my reckless bravery. I teased her about her dangerous charm. And sometimes, when the ship was quiet and the stars stretched endlessly outside, she would whisper, "One kiss, and you could die." And I would smile, brushing my lips against hers. Then I guess I'll just have to survive it. Because in the vast, indifferent universe, I had learned something. Love, in its strangest and deadliest forms, was still worth the risk.